Hey guys, Christina here. Hope you're having an awesome day. I'm going to show you my 10-minute Savvy Minerals face. It's going to take a little bit longer because I'm going to be narrating through it, but this is typically what I do for my makeup routine every day, whether I'm hanging around the house in case, someone comes to the door or I have a surprise visit, or if I'm going to be out and about for the day. I'll add a little bit more if it's a date night or a special occasion, but typically I have a routine that I do each day, and it involves usually some of the same components. So I'm going to show you what the product is because I have a lot more products than I did the last time I did this video with much poorer lighting and far fewer products. So I'm doing a remake. I'm going to show you what the product is, how I use it, and then we'll go from there. So the first thing I always do is I prep my face. So I use a moisturizer before I apply my makeup, especially mineral makeup, because it's not cream or it's not liquid. So to have a mineral makeup, it's really smart to moisturize your face especially. So this is the creme mask. I love Young Living's creme mask. It's super hydrating, and I'm somebody that needs a lot of moisturizing. So I apply this 5 to 10 minutes before I apply my makeup, and it really helps moisturizing and helping the makeup set. It doesn't have to be the cream mask. It can be the Art Light Moisturizer. It could be the sandalwood cream. Whatever, is your preference. But I like this because it just kind of makes me feel special. It's a beautiful product. So we're going to get started. Cool 2 is the first thing that I use. Now, I love the fact that this is a very accurate base color for me. A lot of people need to blend. I may have to blend in a few months when I'm in the sun, and maybe, Cool 2 is not exactly what I need. But as of right now, in the colder weather months, I'm a pretty true Cool 2. So what you do is you take the cap and you pour some of the foundation into the cap. See, like this. And then take your misting spray. So the misting spray I recommend to everybody. I would not personally use this makeup line without the misting spray. I would not love the coverage necessarily, and it doesn't help your makeup stay on when you're not utilizing all of the components of it. So the misting spray I highly recommend. So what you do is you take your foundation brush. This is from the Premium Starter Kit, the Savvy Minerals one. Guys, these brushes are unbelievable. I used to always get far lower quality brushes just because that was what was in the budget. But this one's in the starter kit. These are from Italy. They're amazing. I've already washed this one. It went right back to its original shape. Fantastic. Love the feel of it. And they're vegan too, which is really cool. So what you can do is take that in the cap, use your misting spray like this. Okay? 1 or 2 sprays onto the brush itself. On the back of your hand, take off the excess moisture, and then you swirl it around in the cap, okay? Swirl it and then dab off the excess. Ooh, you can see that flying around. If you do not dab off the excess, it will end up on your shirt or, other such places. And not to mention the fact that that can be waste that you don't want to have happening. You don't want to be wasting your Savvy Minerals because it's a precious, precious line of makeup. All right, so what you do is you just, in small circles, you really work that in. There's a little bit of moisture still on my brush, so I know that I can keep going. Swirl, swirl, swirl. Work it into all the areas of your face until you feel like you're running out of makeup or running out of a little bit of moisture on the brush. So then what I would do is I would take a little bit more into the cap because I'm going to do the top half of my face now. And because my brush is already a little bit wet, I may just do 1 spritz, take off the excess moisture, swirl, swirl into the cap, always tap so that you're not getting that residual makeup onto your shirt or, just onto your makeup table or wherever, so that you can eliminate waste as well as keep your clothes clean, especially if you are all showered and dressed and the last thing you're doing is your makeup. You don't want to be getting this on your collar or anything like that. Okay, so really what I've done with the Cool 2 is I've created all over an even skin tone. So the Cool 2 has set the stage for me to add other colors to my face to be able to add some warmth, things like that. I'm going to take my eyebrow brush. My eyebrows can get a little bit wonky when I'm using the foundation brush in all different directions. Okay, straighten out those bad boys. Now, I have dark 1. I actually utilize dark 1, which would be far too dark for me as an all over color. What I do is I take a smaller brush. Some people, guys, I don't have proper brushes for everything that I do, and that's just fine. This works for me. And until I come across something different or better, then I'm just gonna be kind of doing what I know, which is fine. You make it work for you. So what I do with this dark 1 is I add some contour to my face. I used to always kind of be like, why do I always look washed out? I wear a ton of blush. You know, like, why do I always feel like I'm just looking a little bit pallid? Especially because I have a lot of, let's see, being that I'm super, super Irish, I tend to be a little bit pink, but the rest of it is just very fair-skinned. So this, using a dark 1, has helped me add some color to my face without it being like Oompa Loompa-esque all over the place. So I love the fact that I can use something like a dark 1 to add some contour. So you can see where I'm doing it. It's typically like the shape of a 3. So you start from your forehead, you go down here, and then you go down here. And what that does is those are the most prominent places of your face where the sun will typically come in contact with. So you're just creating natural, natural contouring. And then when you use it here, you're creating a little bit of a, I would say, an illusion of a stronger jawline, okay? And I work it into my ears so that there's like not this massive, you know, line. You don't want a delineation of makeup ever. Also, I work it down into my neck because you don't want to see some colors that just don't make sense elsewhere. All right, this is one cool thing here that my makeup artist friend showed me. If you have a little bit of a fuller nose, you can apply it to each side and it creates a shadow and it gives the illusion of a narrower nose. So pretty cool, huh? I don't know, I just learned this stuff and it definitely has made a difference for me. So you can tell already that I've got some more warmth on my face, and then when I were to be out in the sunlight or the natural lighting, you would see a little bit more of a delineation here and a little bit of a sun-kissed look. So I've gotten that warmth, but also that coverage for my personal color by doing a cool 2 and a dark 1. Next, I'm going to do my eyes. Some people do eyes first before their makeup. It's whatever you prefer. So residual is a really good, residual's right here. Residual is a really good base color for me. And that was the wrong brush. All right, so I take an eyeshadow brush. Again, always into the cap, okay? Swirl, swirl, swirl. What I do, okay, is I then, for the base color, with the shimmer, I really like using the misting spray. I don't use the misting spray for the rest of my eyeshadow, just because I don't feel it's necessary. And sometimes it can be a little bit too pigmented, but because this is such a light neutral, it's kind of like a creamy beige. Oh, I gotta get another one of these guys. Woo! It's kind of like a creamy neutral beige, but it's got a shimmer, and I like that because I really do like a shimmer. I don't like sparkles because, hello, I'm in my 30s, but I do like a shimmer. I think it's youthful. I think the sun catches you the right way, and it's a really good thing. So this is residual, and I use this for my all over color, all over the eyelid up into the eyebrows. So that is my all over color, and you can see it's very pretty. Let me balance that out a little bit more. So that's the misting spray and residual. That would not be enough for me. I feel like that would kind of wash out my eyes a little bit. Some people could stop there and love it, but it really is just your preference. The next one I do is Crushin', or I could do Spoiled. Crushin' and Spoiled are similar, if you can tell. They're both kind of in the peachy pink family. I feel like the Spoiled is a little bit darker. I tend to go with the Crushin', and then I take a brush. I don't misting spray this one because it would be a little bit too strong tap into the brush, into the top rather. This is my lid color. This adds some warmth to my face. So guys, I am a cool through and through, but I like to add warmth to my face. That doesn't mean that because I prefer warmth that I should choose warm tones for my foundation, because that would not be appropriate, but I can certainly add warmth to my face with the eyeshadow of choice, with the contour. You know, you can add it to your face once you have an appropriate foundation. So I'm a cool that loves to add warm tones to my face. That is the residual all over color. That was the Crush-In lid. I'm gonna add a little bit of this. This is the unscripted. This is a matte purple. Guys, this one is really, really popular. I'm only just growing in confidence with the purple tones. So take some, put it in the cap, right? Swirl, 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 and tap. And then, oh my. Oh my. Woo, that's a goodie. That brush was a little bit wet, but the neat thing about Savvy Minerals is that you can totally blend. So what I'll do with this purple is I will put it where I want it to go, and then I'll use my blending brush. It's actually really pretty. It's a bit darker than I typically go, but I've actually been wanting my eyes to stand out more recently. So what I can do is I can take my blending brush. Always good to have a blending brush so that you don't look like you have these really strong lines. And just blend. Blend, 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 blend. And you're creating a natural progression between the different eyeshadows that you've added. Blend, blend, blend. Really forgiving. The thing I like about Savvy Minerals line is that it's so blendable. It's so buildable as well that you can literally just add different colors. Look how pretty that is. So it's not this overt purple eyeshadow, you know, like it's the 80s or something, but it adds a really great component. So when you have green eyes, purple is really pretty to make it pop. So that is the unscripted matte. The last thing I'm gonna do is the multitasker. It's the 3-in-1. This actually is a brow filler, an eyeliner, and you can use it as an eyeshadow. This is so dark, guys, okay? So go lightly, tread lightly the first time you use it. What I do is I take a little bit, put it in the cap. I would never, ever, 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 ever use the misting spray on this. It would just absolutely become unruly. So what I do with this is I put this in the crease of my eye, okay? So a little bit down the side. What I'm doing is adding depth to my eyes, and I'm gonna blend it, so it's fine if it looks a little bit wonky. But you just put this in the crease, right? So crease and work it down kind of at an angle. And you can tell, look at that, that I've created depth in my eyes. So yes, I've got my color, which is great. I've got my pinks and my purples, and I've got a little bit of my sheen, my shimmer going on. But look what I'm doing with this. I'm creating a depth. So I'm creating like that smoky eye look. How pretty is that, guys? This is the 3-in-1 multitasker. This has no sheen. This is totally matte. And, you know, I have very prominent eyebrows. I don't need to fill them in. You know, you can even do a little bit down here if you want to. You know, I don't mess with my lower lashes just because I tend to have thick lashes as it is. And I'm always touching my eyes, and when I put stuff on my lower lashes, it smudges a lot. So I typically tend to leave it. I'm going to take my blender brush, and I'm just going to blend. I'm going to, you know, be working in the same area. So I'm not trying to spread this all over the place. I'm still trying to work in the crease and down, kind of like a parentheses. It's almost like a beginning parentheses and an ending parentheses. And work it down. All right, so, you know, I can continue to blend this for the next 2 or 3 minutes. For the purpose of the video, I'm just gonna stop there. Now I will do my mascara. Still waiting for Young Living to come back with the perfect formulation for Savvy Minerals mascara. It's coming for sure. In the meantime, I either use a Physicians Formula organic wear or I use Beauty Counter's mascara. This one is oil-based. This does not wash off with soap and water. I use this if I know I'm gonna be crying somewhere, but typically day-to-day wear, I will just use a regular mascara that washes off with water, because at the end of the day, I want makeup off, the boys are down in their beds, and I just want to kick back and relax. I don't want to have to go, excuse me, we're at real life here. I don't want to have to take 15 minutes to get my makeup off. I love the fact that Savvy Minerals makeup comes off with soap and water. Makes it really, really easy. So it'll be very interesting to see when their mascara comes back, if it is oil-based or if it simply comes off with water. Regardless, I know it's going to be a phenomenal product and I can't wait to get my hands on it. So, this is the second to last thing that I'm gonna do, and then I will put on my favorite of all favorites, which is blush, guys. If I had to choose probably one piece of makeup indefinitely, it would be blush, because I think blush adds a lot of youthfulness to someone's face. It makes them look more joyful, it makes them look more happy. So there are my eyes. And my eyes took 5 minutes, and they might have taken 4 or 3 if I wasn't navigating through it. So this is I Do Believe You're Blushing. This is Young Living's one of 3 blushes. I like this one because it tends to be a mix between a peachy and a pink, and I really like that. Again, I'm big into having a youthful glow. Take my, oh I got schmut. Take my blush brush. I take this misting spray, spray it once, really work off the foundation or the moisture. I don't want 2 blocks of, I don't want racing stripes on the side of my face. So I add some to the cap, tap it off. Okay, and I'll just do a preliminary, and then I'll go back at it. Now, you want, when you're in your 30s and upward, you want your blush to be upward. So putting it here on the apples of your cheeks can actually drag your whole face down and make you look older or more tired than you are. So you want your blush to go up, up. You really want to create the look of higher cheekbones. That's really what we're trying to accomplish here. And if you're younger or have unbelievable cheekbones, maybe you can do the apples of your cheeks. But for me, it's appropriate to go up into my hairline, get rid of any delineation there. That's my blush. So guys, I think that's everything. We did foundation, we did a little bit of contouring with the dark one, we did my eyes, I did the blending, and I did my blush. I also could put on one of Young Living's lip glosses. I don't have that here. That's not something I necessarily would do every day, or maybe I would just keep it in my purse when needed. But this is my 10-minute look. I have it down pat. I can get it done in 10 or less, especially if I need to get out the door. But here's my Savvy Minerals after. Hope you guys learned something new. I'll see you later.